make your contributions on all the topics that we are talking about on our social media platforms, and we will take as much as we can. Don't forget, you can also use the share button. Just click it and you can share so that your friends, your well-wishers, wherever they are, they can hook up to what we're doing this morning and also drop their contributions. All right, quickly, let's start with what is happening in Delta State. Yesterday, bullion van, bullion van, those vans that usually carry cash for banks and every other thing. I was attacked by armed men yesterday in Delta, exactly at Ugeli in Asaba, Isoko, North Local Government area of Delta State. And the video that was playing before my face and my voice came up was the scene of that incident where some men were said to have attacked a bullion van, and some reports said that they carted away with an undisclosed amount of money from the van. They were shooting, and nobody opposed them, according to some report. But then we had some security operatives convoy following the van. But then the report said that nobody lost his or her life. And according to the police public relations officer in that state, that's talking about DSP Bright Edafe, he said that he got the report, and the first report he got said that they carted away with cash. But then the second report he got said that the van was empty. Of course, we don't know the one we will take, but then he said that he will get the right information, and then he will release a press statement as regards to that incident. But then some people have been reacting to that incident that happened yesterday in Delta State. That's talking about the bullion van that was attacked. And some are asking, what type of bullion van is this? The main bullion van we've seen currently is not the exact picture of what we're seeing from the video that has been trending since yesterday. And some are saying that this bullion van is outdated, and why would the state, and of course, whosoever, whichever bank that was carrying that that owns that bullion van, why would they use such a bullion van? And some are saying, why would the police not do anything? And how is it possible that nobody got a shot, nobody died? But then we know that from the video, you could see some of the vehicles were shot, and they were said to have carted away with money. And then we're waiting for official report from the State Police Command, and we hope that those that are behind that illegal act will be arrested. All right, trending issues, AF television. Let's go over to another thing that is trending in Bayelsa State, where a commissioner for trade and investment was kidnapped last week Thursday, and that kidnap generated some controversy. Some youths of his community were said to be behind that kidnap, and one thing led to the other. The gang leader said, you will have to release my father in detention before I release this man. That's talking about the Commissioner for Trade and Investment in Bayelsa State. But then the good news now is that the man has been released, and there is a video. We'll just play that video, and when we come back, we'll talk about it more.
Your Excellency, I'm very, very grateful to you and the Deputy Governor, the security agents, and whoever that joined hands to bring me back to life. I was almost a dead man. I thought I would never even come back to see my children.
Meanwhile, the governor of Bayelsa State, Doye Diri, who received the commissioner at the government house in Yenagua, reaffirmed the fact that no ransom was.
A member of the Bayelsa State Executive Council who was kidnapped on Thursday, the 20th of January 2022, is now sitting with us here as a freed man. And so I'd like to thank God for his mercies, for living up to their bidding, and all other sources that has assisted leading up to the release of the Honorable Commissioner. The paramount ruler of Otopoti community is hereby deposed, and the security agencies have been directed to further question him on the complicity on the kidnap of the Honorable Commissioner. And in his place, Chief R.O. Abe will now be acting as the paramount ruler of Otopoti community.
I want to sincerely thank you and the Deputy Governor and the entire team for intervening in this my manner. If not of your prompt intervention, the pressure the government puts on them, I could have been a dead man. Your Excellency, I'm very, very grateful to you and the Deputy Governor, the security agents, and whoever that joined hands to bring me back to life. I was almost a dead man. I thought I would never even come back to see my children.
Meanwhile, the governor of Bayelsa State, Oye Diri, who received the commissioner at the government house in Yenagua, reaffirmed the fact that no ransom was paid and also used the occasion to announce the dismissal of a paramount ruler and other persons over the kidnap saga.
A member of the Bayelsa State Executive Council who was kidnapped on Thursday, the 20th of January 2022, is now sitting with us here as a freed man. And so I'd like to thank God for his mercies and also to thank the security agencies in Bayelsa State for living up to their bidding and all other sources that has assisted leading up to the release of the Honorable Commissioner. The paramount ruler of Otopoti community is hereby deposed, and the security agencies have been directed to further question him on the complicity on the kidnap of the Honorable Commissioner. And in his place, Chief R.O. Abe will now be acting as the paramount ruler of Otopoti community.
For Trade and Investment in Bayelsa State, who was kidnapped last week Thursday, and it generated some issues as regards to that. And the report said that the man was kidnapped after he kicked against some group of persons that wanted to set up illegal refineries in his community. According to some reports, the gang leader of the kidnap gang was said to have gone to the community, sat with some youth and some elders, giving them some items so that they will be allowed to set up an illegal refinery in one of their forests in that community. But he, being the commissioner for trade and investment, was said to have met the gang leader and said, no, I don't want such thing to be set up in my community. But then he was attacked and kidnapped, and the gang leader was said to have contacted the monarch of that community, requesting for his father, who was in police detention, to be released before he could release the commissioner. But then he has been released now, and the state is saying that they did not pay any ransom. And of course, the police have named some suspects. They are on the wanted list now. They're nowhere to be found, but then the police are just trying to catch. And of course, the monarch in that community has been deposed, including the youth president and some other persons, because they allegedly have a link to that kidnap. All right, it's still trending issues. AF Television, drop your comments and your contributions on the topics that we are talking about this morning. Use the share button as well and share it so that your friends can also join us in what we're talking about this morning on trending issues. All right, still on illegal refineries and bunkering. Let's go to Rivers State, where a very shocking discovery was made. We're talking about a River State, a general hospital that is said to have been abandoned, precisely Elele Alimini General Hospital in River State. That is said to have been abandoned, and some persons now turned it to a site for illegal refinery and then dumping corpse. And of course, the chairman of that local government, that's talking about Dr. Lloyd, was said to be the one to have discovered that illegal mortuary, and they've got about 30 dead corpses. Dead corpses there, and some reports are saying that these dead persons are kidnapped victims, people that died in custody of their abductors, and then they will just dump them there. And of course, that news has sparked reactions since yesterday. And of course, investigation is still on. Some persons were arrested there, and they are being interrogated at the moment. So hopefully, the needful will be done, and those that are dead, if they can't be identified by the various families, we hope that they'll be given the required burial. Of course, we keep telling you, stay away from trouble, stay away from criminal activity. Of course, River State has been fighting against the illegal refineries and bunkering, and we hope that it will generate to other states so that we will say goodbye to these stories of health hazard related disadvantages of these illegal refineries. We are hearing suit in all these oil communities, oil producing communities, and this is a resultant effect of these illegal activities. All right, let's move ahead to what the other thing that is trending. Just on Wednesday, that is the day before yesterday, reports came saying that a police helicopter crashed in Bauchi State, and some persons had their own opinion as regards to that issue. But now, the Nigerian police force has responded to that report, saying that no, there was no plane crash. I'm going to quote Frank Mba, that's the PPRO of Nigeria Police, and he says, police helicopter in controlled safe landing in Bauchi, not crashed as reported. None of the occupants sustained any injury whatsoever. All right, it says Nigeria police helicopter flying from Abuja to Bauchi on Wednesday was involved in a controlled safe landing at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa International Airport, Bauchi. The aircraft did not crash as being reported in some sections of the media, and none of the occupants sustained any injury whatsoever. All 6 on board, including the pilot and co-pilot, are in good condition. Similarly, the aircraft, which was flown by one of the best police pilots, was professionally safe, landed with minor damage on the rear rotor as a result of obstacle at the landing spot. All right, that is the police statement refuting the report that a police helicopter crashed in Bauchi. So the police is saying that no helicopter crashed in Bauchi. Just get that information right. All right, the last story before we call it a wrap on trending issues. A pastor has been arrested in Ogun State. His name is Pastor Timothy of a Spirit-Filled International Christian Church. What did he do? He allegedly lured a married woman and her 2 daughters to his house, where he was having sexual affairs with them in his house. Of course, the state police command said that this man was arrested following a report by the husband of the victim. The man went to the police and lodged a complaint. This pastor took my wife and my 2 children to his house, and he has been sleeping with them in his house. Of course, the police went and arrested the man, and the man confessed, said, yes, I did it, but then he has pleaded for forgiveness, that he took advantage of the misunderstanding the man was having with his wife to just lure her to his own house with her children, and he was sleeping with them. All right, stay away from trouble, stay away from criminal activities. He is in police net now, and some people are asking, why would a pastor do such a thing? Of course, I'm not saying we have real pastors and we have fake pastors. All right, whichever one you are, just keep being good. Don't do things that will affect people negatively. All right, let's take some of the comments before we call it a wrap on today's edition of trending issues. We have Osmosis Steven says, "Na liar." I don't know who he's referring to. We have Charles Sitali and some other persons there. All right, that is how we'll call it a wrap on today's edition of Trending Issues. My name is still Faith Okanwa. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next week. Bye for now.
Round.